Hello everyone, my name is Zenitsu and I'm back with another Digimon video. So today is going to be a product analysis and review on if it's actually worth it to buy the brand new Bandai Premium product, which is going to be for the Digimon card game featuring the Tamer Selection Box version Championship 2024 set. So I do want to apologize in advance that I didn't get this video out in a timely manner when this set started going live for sales. I was a little bit busy and preoccupied with other things, and, well, I just couldn't be able to make this when I wanted to. But there's still time to be able to purchase this as of the recording of this video. So if you're still on the fence, if you want to buy this, feel free to take a watch to see my overall thoughts, opinions, and analysis, and hopefully this helps make you a more informed purchaser. So many Digimon players ask the question if it's worth it to buy the Bandai Premium Tamer Selection Box for the Championship 2024 set. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down things from the financial side based on the current market values of all of the cards and products in the set, the current market trends, on top of giving my own thoughts and opinions. So when it comes to this premium set, what you're going to be getting inside of it is going to be cards and a storage box to celebrate the Digimon card games championship for the 2024 season. So this exclusive set is going to be featuring the 10 legendary warriors with a nice Japanese style and aesthetic to them. When it comes to the actual contents of this set, this is a premium set that's going to have 20 total cards in it, 10 different cards, obviously one of each of the 10 legendary warriors, and it's cool that we get 2 copies of each, on top of the fact that we do get a long storage box, which all could be yours for the low price of $35 plus shipping and handling, while you have time to be able to purchase this price from the Bandai Premium shop. Otherwise, you're most likely going to end up paying markup much later when the set actually comes out. So when it comes to the cards inside of the set, this is all of the cards that are going to be featured when it comes to what you're actually purchasing. The 2 standout cards is the fact that Ancient Greymon and Ancient Garurumon are both from BT17, while everything else is from BT18, and those 2 cards more specifically are super rares versus everything else that's going to be a rare. So it's definitely nice to see that those 2 cards got a reprint, but it's still kind of cool to have this nice little collection featuring all 10 of the Ancient Warriors in their current most powerful form. And then when it comes to the overall design of the storage box itself, this time around, Bandai kind of did us a dirty and actually didn't give us a final design to look at, or at least like a representation to get an understanding or idea what we're actually going to be purchasing when it comes to what this box is going to be looking like. But based on past trends, we could kind of infer that most likely it's just going to be repurposing some of the Legendary Warriors card arts that we just saw onto this box to kind of round out the overall aesthetic. And then when it comes to the card values, this is probably the bulk of where a lot of people are going to make up their mind on if it's actually worth it or not. Because outside of the storage box, the cards are really the main selling point. So when it comes to the overall value of these cards, here is their overall breakdown. Keep in mind, these prices are going to be taken as of the recording of this video. So we could see that basically all of the BT18 cards are pretty much bulk cards and not really currently holding much value. I mean, that's to kind of be expected considering that these cards don't really see that much meta playability, and because they're also lower rarity cards, they're not like super hard to get, nor are they super desirable. I think out of all of them, the best ones are probably Ancient Kazimon, Ancient Mermaidmon, and probably Ancient Beetlemon as like the top 3 forerunners that might have a little bit more value compared to the others based on their playability. But the main highlight of the set is the fact that we're going to be getting reprints of BT17 Ancient Greymon and BT17 Ancient Garurumon, both of which are highly meta playable and desirable cards. So we could see that the majority of the value when it comes to the set is going to be taken up by those two cards alone, which in my perspective makes it a pretty worthwhile product overall, just based on the current market value. Granted, we do know whenever they do reprint cards, the base version does fall just because, well, now there's just more copies available, and usually the Bandai Premium versions are going to be like a mid-rarity card, so it's not going to be as low as the base, but it's not going to be as high as the alt art ordinarily. So when it comes to the supply value, because that's the other big aspect, we do have some reference points in which we could look at to determine what these storage boxes are worth, and it looks like their average value is around $20. But when it comes to other similar items, we do have some past products that we could take a look at to see if this type of a product actually is worthwhile or not, with the latest one being the Bandai Premium Heroine Selection, having very similar identical makeup when it comes to the overall contents. We just don't get card sleeves, and the price as a result kind of reflects as such. And then taking a look at the overall big picture, for the $35 Bandai is asking, you're at least base rarity-wise going to be getting around $32 to $33 worth of overall value, if not a little bit more, because again, these cards are considered mid-rarity and they're going to be holding a little bit higher of a price tag than their base predecessors. But this alone is really close to the overall asking point for the product, kind of making it worth the purchase alone if you're interested in those cards more specifically. Then if you really wanted to, you could add about $20 for the box on top of it as the overall price of supplies, and it's definitely a more worthwhile product when it comes to the overall value of it. The majority of the value, yes, is in those two cards more specifically because they're SR reprints of two really popular and powerful cards, which actually makes it a pretty decent product compared to some others where most of the time the SR reprints aren't necessarily as high of value or the cards are just missing their prime, so that's just part of the unfortunate reality of when they're designing a product versus when the product is actually released. So I do want to make a quick note when it comes to the BT18 cards that this actually is the high rarity version of those cards. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be worth that much more, but that is something to note because the only other high rarity version we had of them is going to be their pre-release stamps. And then we also have to note that in Special Booster 2.0, rares are just a tiny bit harder to get than normal, so it's definitely nice that these alt art ancients are going to be available in this product to make them a little bit easier to get. So one thing I also like to keep in mind is when this product is actually going to be released, and it is going to be released in April of 2025. So by the time we get them, we don't exactly know where the meta or market is going to be, let alone the demand for this type of product overall when we get our hands on it, which ends up making this type of a product and basically a Bandai Premium product a little bit of a risk in that sense, because we did have some that appreciate in value while some depreciate in value. So when it comes to my overall grade and evaluation of this, I would probably give this an A, considering you're actually going to be getting the value, if not a little bit more value, than what you paid when it comes to the cards that they actually selected. Granted, yes, the majority of the cards are going to be bulk cards, but if you're in it mostly just for the Ancient Garurumon and Ancient Greymon, then this product is 100% worth buying just for those cards alone, knowing that you're going to actually get the value out of those cards, assuming no bans and restrictions or anything take place to limit the playability of those decks. And then the one thing I always like to stress is the fact that this is my opinions based on the research that I've done. The art, cards, and supplies are always going to be a personal preference, and you should get what you want regardless of how I feel and what I say. If you really want it, then get it. If you don't want it, then skip it. It is kind of just that simple, but I'm just trying to give you food for thought to see if this is a more worthwhile purchase when it comes to the overall value of things. It is a shame that we don't know what the art on the box is exactly. That is a huge misstep on Bandai's part, but again, the majority of the appeal in this type of a product isn't necessarily the box. The box is nice, don't get me wrong, and they do have some pretty decent quality boxes, but the majority of the value and what people are going to be looking at is in Ancient Gurumon and Ancient Greymon more specifically. So the pre-order window, keep in mind, is from October 31st all the way up to November 29th of 2024, with the delivery period being sometime in April, which is about 6 to 7 months after purchase, which is the usual time frame in which Bandai tries to make a Bandai Premium product versus when they actually ship it out. So that's all I really have for this video. Feel free to tell me your thoughts down in the comments below, and while you're down there, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you found this video to be helpful and informative, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that way you can stay up to date when my next videos go live. And with that, I hope to see you all in the next video.